think I've worked for some challenging leaders before. They're willing to do anything to climb the ladder, right? So in the right forums, they look like fantastic leaders, but directly with their direct reports, they give another experience. But you know what? In a weird way, I've always been grateful for them because I know what kind of leader I never want to be. One thing that's important to me is with whatever my leadership style is and how I present myself, that I feel like I'm doing it from an authentic space. And I think in the past, I didn't really feel confident to show up authentically.
And last time you talked about having PTSD from previous jobs. Mm-hmm. Is this related to what you're sharing?
Yeah, I think so. I think looking back, I felt there wasn't representation. So like when you looked at positions as they got higher, the representation of that diversity dwindled. That's when I found myself in scenarios or positions where I would be described as a bulldozer, or I was told I should manage one particular market that looked like me, and I couldn't manage another market that didn't look like me. And, those things at the time I thought I worked through and progressed from, I realized still stay with me today.
Okay. So can you tell me the old belief, or maybe the belief that you still hold, but you are ready to let go? What would it be?
It's funny because my boss said this to me the other day. It's almost, I don't need to continue to prove myself. I'm already here. But she can sense I'm like really pushing myself to over-deliver.
Lee, how are things with your manager?
So they actually were not as bad as I thought they were. And because I hadn't quite understood the concepts of what he was asking, I saw it as a personal attack. And unfortunately, I'm almost a bit ashamed to say I was wrong. And it made me realize I really am my own hindrance to my success. And if I could just turn off my brain and emotions, then I think I would become that perfect, corporate robot.
It's absolutely fine to feel your emotions, but you need to evacuate them so that they don't control you.
Self-doubt is at the forefront of every decision that I ever make, and it's got to stop. I still hold it to myself that you got to perform, otherwise you're going to lose your job, and if you lose your job, you're going to be deported. And actually, I think that's my biggest issue. It's almost taking too much control over my life.
And what impact does it have on your performance, on your work?
I get nothing done, and then I blink and it's been 2 hours. My inbox has just gotten even bigger, and I almost start panicking, but I still haven't started.
So when you feel that panic, what is the main thought that emerges in your mind?
I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to figure out quickly or I'm going to get in trouble.
Lee is immensely afraid of having to leave the country, and I think this is a massive block in his own career progression and also in his ability to just enjoy his life in London. And what does it mean I'll get in trouble?
They'll figure out that I'm not the best person for the job. I'll lose my job and I'll be, have to leave the country.
An area maybe that I might like to discuss is as I've changed, my role has technically changed, some responsibilities have been removed. So they're things that I think are not in my job description anymore, and they should be sitting with somebody else because somebody has been promoted into a role where this responsibility now appears to sit in their job description, but they don't seem to have absorbed that. And if I don't raise it, it goes unnoticed, and then I'm not getting the recognition for doing that work.
So what would the ideal look like?
If they do want me to continue to be the steward in this situation, that I'm recognised for it.
What is preventing you from bringing this up again?
I think it's because I feel like I'm always doing this, because obviously for the last 2 years, hi, is my role being made permanent? Hello, am I permanent yet? It's the same person, so I don't want to keep annoying them about it, because otherwise it seems like there's always something, like it'll seem like I'm never happy. I'm just conscious of last time I kind of got demoted.
And I understand that this may still hurt when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, when I say it like that, like it's kind of a joke, but actually that is what happened.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Have you known for long that you have ADHD?
I was diagnosed about 9 years ago.
And how do you manage this at work?
I speak about it so that it doesn't feel like I'm hiding it and trying to manage it on my own. I know in meetings that I might kind of go off or not pay attention. I might ask a question twice because I didn't listen the first time. So to avoid people getting frustrated with that, I'll explain. I could tell coming to this new job, there were certain behaviors that came back out of me, like in terms of interrupting people or not letting people finish in meetings or whatnot. And it was interesting. I got the feedback from my boss and immediately I knew what it was and how I need to pay more attention to that. But where it can become challenging, I don't ever want it to hinder the work I do, but I want to always be honest with people where I'm at. Like when I see a 2-3 hour meeting in my calendar, I'm already panicking, thinking, how will I sit through that?
I suppose it's tricky because you started this new job, it's been, 2 months?
Not even.
Yeah, obviously it will take time for you to adapt and find your own way of dealing with it, managing it.
I think by having some of these like difficult and very personal, vulnerable conversations with Frederique has really helped me take a step back and kind of download what has happened and where I'm at, because I think I just keep going. But it's really been useful to have these open conversations.
I'm just gonna trust right what you're saying. You never play. Kid through the valley, we walk through the fire. Your grace is amazing.
Yeah, I think the confidence thing is still, it's still something I need to think about, because it's directly linked to me not following up fully.
Poonam has been clearly hurt by the change in role, the fact that she has the same amount of responsibilities but a more junior job title, and this had a massive knock on her confidence, and now it's almost like her sense of self-worth is measured by this. I wonder if we could explore this a bit more.
I'm just not really trying to reflect too much on the past.
It's painful. Maybe she doesn't really want to face those strong emotions. I understand you're afraid of being too demanding, but you can also explain this. You can share with them, I'm afraid of asking too much of you. How do you feel when I say this?
So I feel like what I'm thinking of is not so crazy. Like I'm not really asking too much.
Yeah. And how will you feel once you've done that?
I mean, hopefully I'll feel like I have clarity, or my expectations are managed. I would hope that there would be an opportunity for a promotion so that there is recognition of the work that I've done.
So I can share with you a few tips if you want.
Absolutely.
To help regulate your emotions when they arise. There's something called The Work from Byron Katie, where it's a list of questions that you can ask yourself when you have a negative thought that keeps on coming back and you feel like it's taking too much space in your head and it's preventing you from working properly. So the first question, is it true? Is it true there's a chance that you might mess it up and that you will get sacked and you will have to leave the country?
No, it's not true. Eventually the question will be, what are you doing? But I'm also 3 months in the company, and if I needed assistance, I should have just asked.
That's great, because you already see that it's quite extreme and it's not true, but we keep going. The second question is, can you absolutely know it's true? It's like you try to find evidence.
No, there's no ways for me to know that it's absolutely true unless my manager standing in front of me saying, start this project or you will be fired.
We cannot always control what's happening to us, but we can always control how we react to things. If you want to maintain on the long term the controlling of those negative thoughts, I think it takes practice, and you have to remind yourself constantly, is this true? Am I telling myself a story right now? What are your main takeaways?
I think the biggest thing is just understanding the meltdown moment is going to come, because this is me we're talking about, and if I really just, let myself, be successful, or let myself do the job, I could achieve a whole lot more. It's actually really important for me to succeed at this coaching because, I've identified what the roadblocks are in my personal and professional growth. I've identified, especially after these last 2 sessions, that this is going to help me overcome all of that. And I sort of see that the tools are being given to me to break that wall down. So now that I've almost had a glimpse of potentially reaching that success, I gotta make it happen.
I think sometimes I worry that I talk too much, or maybe I talk out of turn.
I think they're lying to me.
All I have capacity for is work.
What are you going to do about this?
I really don't know.
I want that companionship.
Do you want to share with me what's happening right now?
I just get really embarrassed when I talk about myself for too long.
You have the answers.